welcome. You're watching Samvat 2076 special on Money Control. I'm Sakshi Batra and I have with me Kshitij Anand, Markets Editor at Money Control. Very happy Diwali to you, Kshitij.
Thank you, same to you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much. So Kshitij, I will definitely ask you about the outlook for the Samvat 2076. But before I go on to that, I really want to understand, and for all the benefit of all the viewers as well, as to how was Samvat 2075 for us and how did the markets really perform there?
Well, Sakshi, if you look at the whole in the last 1 year, it has been a roller coaster ride for investors, and in fact we did hit a record high of 12,103, but then again that was followed by profit taking, and in fact we hit a record high just in the month of June, but then again it has slipped towards 11,100, 11,200 levels in just in the last 1 or 2 months.
Sure.
But then again the momentum has sort of picked up and we are back again above 11,600 and are making our foray towards 12,000 levels.
Absolutely.
So yes, the journey has been slightly more volatile, but given the fact that there's a lot of external as well as domestic interferences, or you could say there's headwind in both domestic as well as the external environment, which is hampering or capping the upside for Indian markets at this point in time.
Yes.
So, overall, if you look at it, then we are still 9% higher from where we were in Samvat 2075.
Yeah.
That means on the Muhurat trading day. So, the good part is that we are still higher. That is around about 9%. We are still giving better returns than your fixed income. So, at least that is one bit of positive takeaway.
Sure, absolutely. Apart from this, I also wanted to ask you, Kshitij, what about the specific stocks that really outperformed the markets in the last 1 year, and also which are the stocks that really made all the investors well there?
In fact, Sakshi, if you look, from Samvat to Samvat, especially in this Samvat, there have not been any multi-baggers per se. We just had 2 stocks which sort of more than doubled investors' wealth in the last 1 year. But apart from that, they've not been any stocks which have sort of, made multi-bagger kind of returns. In the past 1 year, which was the case probably if you look at 2017 or 2018, in fact. So, a part of it could be attributed to, demand slowdown as well as the external environment that we are facing at this point in time, and obviously the other corporate governance issues that are coming up.
For sure.
If you look at the stocks which have actually doubled more than, doubled investors' wealth in the last 1 year, include names like Aavas Financials as well as HDFC AMC. Now remember, both these stocks are newly listed firms and they've been able to perform better than most of their matured companies or their peers in the organization or in India Inc. Apart from that, stocks which rose 50 to 100% include names like Ujjivan Financial Services, ICICI Lombard, Trent, MCX, Dr. Lal, Path Labs, Bajaj Finance, HDFC AMC, BPCL, Siemens, Fine Organic, etc., among others. Now remember, all these stocks are from BSE 500 index. So just to make sure that we don't include any penny stocks in the stock returns part, we have only taken data from the stocks which are listed in the BSE 500 index,
right,
or the companies or the top 500 companies of India Inc. that are listed on the stock exchanges. So definitely it gives a much better view as to which shares get traded frequently. So that's why we included this data. In terms of Nifty, there are about 20 companies which have given double-digit returns in the last 1 year, which include names like BPCL, Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance, Titan Company, Asian Paints, Bharti Airtel, HUL, etc. Now, we have talked about gainers. Let's also talk about some of the losers which have actually fallen more than 10% in the last 1 year, which include names like Yes Bank, Z Entertainment, JSW Steel, Tata Motors, GAIL India, Sun Pharma, Mahindra and Mahindra, Hindalco Industries. Now, some of the names that we've already mentioned here, they have their own you could say sector-specific issues or company-specific issues, which are really weighing on the stock returns at this point in time. But experts feel that this is a time to buy because there's some bit of fear in the market with respect to the domestic as well as global environment. So I think it's a good time, that is 2076. Could be a good time when investors can actually pick multi-bagger stocks for the next 2 years.
Absolutely. I'll also ask you about the multi-baggers that could be hitting newer highs in Samvat 2076. But rightly pointed out, Kshitij, that this last 1 year has been quite eventful. We do have a lot of stocks that have outperformed the markets, that have made investors' wealth double up or maybe multifold from the levels that they have seen previously. But the last 1 year, we have seen the Modi government get re-elected also. We've also seen the mar of the slowdown, be it when we talk about the domestic slowdown or the global factors that are also reeling under the slowdown pressure as well. So all this combined with the financial stress that is still reeling under a lot of pressure in the Indian markets, that's right?
That's right, Sakshi. In fact, if you look at the last 1 year, then not just micro, in fact, macro factors, they both are, or micro indicators, they both are heading south.
Yeah.
And there's no consensus view as to, consensus view in terms of whether they'll go up in this financial year or not.
Yeah.
But if we go back to history and analyze the data, it suggests that the best time to pick stocks and the best time to pick stock which can create wealth for you in the long term is something, the environment is totally right at this point in time, and this is the point where you can actually pick stocks, because most of the stocks that are there in BSE 500 index as well, they're down 30 to 40% from their 52-week highs.
Absolutely.
So they're available at a discount which most people can actually take advantage of and probably go and invest. All it requires is a little bit of faith in your stock picking.
Yeah.
And a little bit of risk-taking attitude.
Yeah.
If you have both these things, I think this is the right time to pick stocks. That's what even most experts are suggesting at this point in time. Apart from that, the global environment has not been that healthy. The demand environment is deteriorating at this point in time.
Yeah.
Although inflation was inching down, but now it has sort of picked up. But if you look at the growth, India growth rate, which hit a 6-year low around about 5% odd, has sort of dented sentiment. But government has been able to come up with a lot of reforms which could actually push the growth rate, probably not in this quarter, but it will take another 2 or 3 quarters for all those measures to get reflected in the GDP forecast rate or GDP rate.
Absolutely.
And at this point in time, most of the global institutions have also reduced their forecast for for India, be it IMF, be it World Bank, be it Moody's.
Yes.
So most of the global financial institutions have also trimmed our forecast for the next financial year, but that is what they see in near term.
Yeah.
But if you look at a little bit from a long term perspective, I think we should be able to sort of head higher towards 6 and 7% growth path. Considering the fact that the measures that government has taken, be it reducing in corporate tax rate and etc. So a lot of measures have been included to boost growth in, you could say, Asia's third largest economy.
Right. And lastly, Kshitij, I also wanted to ask you if you are seeing any pickup in the earnings front. Have corporate earnings bottomed out, because they have been subdued in the previous year? And also, how do you look forward to the Samvat 2076 year? What are the specific areas and stocks that are going to really make investors' wealth rise, double or multifold in the coming year as well? What is the big expectation there?
Right. So corporate earnings have been muted for the past 1 year, if you look from Diwali to Diwali. So, and probably it will be another quarter. September quarter will again be muted. That's what experts are suggesting at this point in time. But yes, probably FY21 is the day, or you could say is the financial year, which experts are suggesting that we could see probably some green shoots of corporate earnings coming back in double-digit growth. Apart from that, what really investors should focus on at this point in time is, despite all the negative news from the domestic front as well as from the global front, the upside still remains,
quite capped.
Upside remains capped, but still we should be able to hit record highs.
Yeah.
And that could come probably in the next 12 months. So most technical experts, in fact, have a target of around about 14,400 or 13,000 levels. So which translates into a record high for Nifty, because record high is around about 12,103, and we are hardly 400, 500 points away from that level. So again, if we look at this point in time, I think 2076, somewhere 2076 could be a changing year for many investors if they do the right kind of picking. And the holding period should be 3 years, 3 to 5 years kind of a time frame. And otherwise, I think we should have a good Diwali if somebody picks up stock at this point in time, and the right quality stocks at this point in time. Believe me, you will have a very good Diwali in 27 or somewhere 2078 and 2079. That is for sure.
All right. Thanks a lot then, Kshitij, for sharing all these insights. And with that, we come to a wrap here of this Diwali special on Money Control, with the wishes of a very happy and prosperous year ahead. The technical experts are suggesting that the Nifty is going to record higher highs from here on, even the levels of 14,000 and above. So I'm sure Samvat 2076 is going to be a great year, at least for markets and for all of us and for all the viewers of Money Control as well. Thanks for watching.